What's up, friends? Brandon here. You're watching the Scale Racing channel, coming at you today with something a little bit different. It's going to be a kind of a dedication race. I recently had the Middleweight Championship race that had everybody, mailing in their cars for their entries and stuff like that. And there were a lot of generous guys that donated some extra cars along the way. They included these cars with the packages that they had their race cars in, and I figured what better way to thank everybody for sending in those cars than by showing you what was sent in, and then later on we'll be sending them all down the track to see which out of all these little random acts of kindness are the fastest. So first of all, we got Craigster Sr., Crazy Eights Racing, sent in 7 cars. And yeah, there's some pretty nice ones here. And what I will say is that I have already cracked all these cars. They've all been to the speed shop, so they've seen their share of graphite. But one of the first ones that he sent in was the Porsche 911 Carrera. This one, the white version, smaller wheels in the front, bigger wheels in the back. Kind of a pearl white coloration. Nice car. And wheels on this car actually ended up working pretty well. Wide casting, this is an old Corgi casting, rebranded for Hot Wheels after they purchased the Corgi model making company. This car typically doesn't do very well on the Hot Wheels 6-lane ramp because of its width, but we no longer have one of those. So hopefully we'll see some speed out of this guy on the regular track that we've got set up right now. So that is one of them from Craig. Another one that he sent in, the Side Splitter, Trans Am funny car. Again, all of these have already been to Speed Shop. Hot Wheels race team logos all the way around. This one with the metallic blue paint job. Of course, we all know the potential on these guys. I'm not going to weigh any of these in. They're all of varying weights. I'm not really worried about that right at this moment. If we find any of these that are especially fast, of course, we'll put them up against the ranked cars that I have in my display, and who knows, maybe even some of them will make it up into the stack. There's only one way to find out. Another car that he sent in, the 80s Corvette. And this 80s Corvette is metal on metal, 5-spoke wheels, got the Hot Wheels race team logos on the sides. Again, all of them have been to Speed Shop so far, so this will be another one. And he's got pretty good weight too. He sent in this Color Effect Super Stampers 57 Chevy. I'm not really sure how that works. Maybe it's got some kind of color changing plastic going on. But this is interesting because this 57 Chevy is plastic on plastic. It weighs almost nothing. If I had to guess, I'd say it probably weighs maybe 23, 24 grams. Got the Ultra Hot Wheels. I don't know if it's got nickel axles or not. Wheels spin okay. I might hit that one with a little bit more dust in the rear wheels before I send them on down the track. And he also sent in this Walgreens 2-pack, one of which, what is that? Is that the 67 Camaro convertible? It's got some tribal stuff going on the top. Metal body, this one with the chrome plastic base. It's got the 7-spoke wheels, and it does have the opening hood. A little bit on the lightweight side. Let's see how the wheels spin. Wheels spin pretty decent on that guy. And the other car out of this 2-pack is the, what is that, the 67 GTO? Is that right? Nice flame job. Got kind of a greenish blue metallic paint, white flamage. Wheels, not tremendously good on this car, but it's got some pretty decent weight. We'll see how that one does. And the last car that Craig sent was the Johnny Lightning Topper Series Mad Maverick. This one in a metallic bluish green color. And this guy's got some heft to it. Metal on metal. Got an engine in the front and an engine in the back. Got the 5-spoke wheels with the Racer's Edge tires. And these wheels actually worked out pretty well. We'll see if the extra height on this car is gonna hurt him at all. Very cool looking. Thank you, Craig, for those cars sent in. You certainly didn't need to, but I appreciate it nonetheless. And let's see here. The next 2 cars sent in by Kawali, also known as Wally Champ 73. And this is the Evil Twin. I don't think I'm gonna race this guy. That is the holidays version of the Evil Twin. And I appreciate it nonetheless, even though there's some kind of a problem with this one. It was not rolling very well. That and the shrouding on the tires and the fact that the body's going to rub before the tires come into contact with the track. I think I'm going to let this guy sit out, but nonetheless, pretty cool looking casting. And the other one that he sent in was the 2018 Dodge Charger. This one, Matchbox. This one in blue. 5 spokes, nice paint, nice detailing all the way around. Pretty cool car. These wheels actually spin fairly good for a Matchbox. Will he have enough weight and speed to get down the track before everybody else? We'll just have to wait and see. Dennis, otherwise known as Mr. BFG, sent in 3 fat fendered 40s, 2 of which I forwarded on to Dale at DXP Racing. And this is the light blue version. This is the one that you want to look for as far as the fat fendered 40s go. 5-spoke wheels, metal on metal. This guy's got some weight. And the wheel work is actually pretty decent on this one. I'm actually kind of curious to see how this runs. I have yet to throw a fat fendered 40 down this track, and this will be the first time that we see it happen. Really good weight. He's probably awfully similar to the funny car. I don't know, we'll just have to wait and find out. Thank you, Dennis, for that one. Next up, Dale over at DXP Diecast sent me this Lamborghini Estoque Hot Wheels All-Stars 2012. He ran this down his track, and it actually did fairly well. I think wherever he ended up picking his up, he found 2, metallic yellow, and you got some black Tampa work going down the sides. Headlights and all that good stuff. Nothing in the rear. This one has the 5-spoke wheels. Looks like it's got the little red line going around it. These wheels a little noisy, but they've got a good roll to them. And a long wheelbase car, decent weight. If I had to guess, probably right around the 40-gram mark. I'm not weighing these as of right now. We'll wait and see how they perform on the track before I do that. And the other car that he sent in was this 1971 Buick Riviera. This one, treasure hunt, and very skinny. Probably wouldn't do very well on the drag strip. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave this guy in the package. Very cool looking car, treasure hunt. Yeah, we'll leave it the way it is. And thank you very much, Dale, for sending in those 2 cars. David over at Elevation Diecast, he finds the fire out of these big sets. And the Theo Schwartz set was one that I never located in the store. I've been to quite a few Targets. Targets have really sucked as of late here in Nashville. He ended up finding 2 of these and picked one up for me. I am not going to free these guys out of this package, at least not at this time. Some of these cars in here were a little disappointing on speed. He did lube them up and send them down on his channel. Make sure you check out Elevation Diecast Racing, no spaces between the words. I think the fastest car he had out of this set was probably the Bone Shaker. So a little disappointing as far as speed goes with this set, but yeah, I mean, they look great. The Camaro, Skyline, Porsche, the Bone Shaker. I'm a little disappointed with the T1 or the T2. Why didn't they do a gold base on this? I don't know. And the Land Rover Defender 90. All these look very good. Thank you for that, David. I appreciate it very much. We're gonna leave this guy in the package for now. He did send quite a few other cars. The Pocket Bikester, this one with the faster than ever wheels. I don't think I've ever sent this car down the track. I don't know if this one has raced on his yet or not. Went ahead and worked the wheels on it. And the wheels seem to roll quite well. Decent weight too. This is one of the few faster than evers that actually has a metal body and a metal base. So kind of curious to see how it does. Real Rider kit. David sends a lot of Real Rider cars down the track, and I think he's trying to get me to do a Real Rider race. I think. Maybe that's why he sent me these cars. I don't know. We'll just have to, I don't know. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you want to see a Real Rider race. I've got a ton of them. I just don't know if I would actually graphite the things up. They're more of a collector type piece for me. If I was gonna run them, I'd run them down dry, but David, he does put graphite on all the cars that he rolls down the track. This kit, and I'm pretty sure he's already raced this one. I'm not sure how it did in his racing, but that's a Real Rider car. We're not gonna run the Real Riders against the plastic tires tonight. What is that, 71 Mustang? I'm not sure. It says it there. I can't read that. Johnny Lightning, convertible Mustang. Oof. Opening hood, showing you the business. Pretty nice looking engine. Look at that hood, white interior. It's got kind of the Krager 5 spokes. I don't know if he's lubed these up or not, or if he's raced this car. I don't think he's raced this car. I don't know. Very cool car though, I must say. And the other car that he sent in was this, what is that? Majorette Ford Mustang GT. I'm not sure the year on it. Pretty cool looking. It's got kind of a satin red paint job, black racing stripe. This one does have Real Rider tires. And I do believe he's sent this guy down the track. Pretty sure. Oh, the rear deck lid opens up on this guy. Interesting. Front doesn't, but the rear does. Nice looking car though. Thank you, David, for all of those. I think that was all of the ones that he sent me. Yes, I believe it was. So anyway, thank you, David. I appreciate those cars very much. And probably have another package coming your way here before too long. Alex CR is a friend of mine that lives down in Puerto Rico, and he had some cars he wanted to trade for a couple Hondas I sent his way. So the first one we're going to take a look at is this, yep, Spider-Man Maximum Venom, Venomized Iron Man. It's a jackhammer. It's a gold jackhammer. We all know about gold jackhammers now, don't we? And he showed me some pictures of stuff that he had. And yeah, I said, I'll take that if you're wanting to trade. And I will say, the jackhammer, he's got some great wheels. Excellent wheels. Alex CR was not a part of this race event, but he did recently send me some cars as kind of a trade. So I wanted to include that in this video. And also the 69 Camaro convertible. I have not found this in the stores. This is the, what is that? The Q case Zamac from 2023. And he sent this guy along. We've already got a convertible Camaro in this race. You guys all know these things are pretty lightweight, fat wheels in the rear. Not gonna be a good race car for track duty, but I wanted to show it to you just because he did send it my way. And the last car that Alex CR sent in. And this is pretty special for me because we see a lot of these Ford Probe funny cars in the Hot Wheels flavor, right? Well, this is the Tiger wheels. I've never had one of these before. I'm not exactly sure what they call them, if they call them anything. And the interesting thing about them is they've got, you know, your typical 5-spoke wheels, right? But they're Racer's Edge. Metal on metal, has really good weight. I think he has quite a few Tiger wheels in his collection since he is in Puerto Rico. These things are very popular down there. He sent me the Crown Victoria, probably a year and a half ago, and it was a Tiger wheel variant. So yeah, first time with the Tiger wheel, funny car, going down the track. Wheels work pretty good on this one too, I must say. So yeah, looking forward to that one. Will it have anything for this guy? We'll surely find out. Let's see. I showed you guys a couple cars that came from Red Pill Racing. This one being the, 2016 Ford GT Race. You guys already saw this one. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this guy into the mix. That way we get 16 cars total in the race. Makes for a nice even number and fills up half the bracket. And the other one is this Model S by Tesla, pearl white. We're gonna send him down the track also. Alex, sorry about that, man. Appreciate the cars you sent me. Totally looking forward to the funny car, see how it does. And Frank, I appreciate the good deal that you gave me on those. And that leaves us with Marcus from Germany. Marcus has turned out to be a really good friend, and it's unfortunate that we're separated by an ocean. Man, I'd love to sit down with you, buy a beer, shoot the breeze. He helps me out a lot finding some of these hard to find Siku racing cars. This is the Matra Simca Rancho. Plastic construction on the bottom, metal on the top. It's got the wheels that we're looking for. They're not the wide ones, they're the standard width version. I thought I worked the wheel on that one. I may have to hit this one with a little bit more dust. One thing you'll know about the Sikus is that when you get them dry, they don't roll very well. When you put some dust on them, they're really good. So I'll probably have to hit this guy with a little bit more dust. There's a few more down here that I'm gonna have to do that to also. But he found this one for me, and he's tested one in his fleet, and it seems to run pretty good. So he ended up getting a very good deal for me on that one. And I found a very cheap version of the, what is this guy? The Weissman GT MF4. We just call it the MF. This is a newer variant. I'm not sure if the dates are on the back of these guys or not. These are made in China. I wasn't sure, I've never had one. I did like the body on this guy. I wanted to give it a shot, so it was fairly cheap. He ended up picking it up for me on ebay.de. If you've never been there before, yeah, click on over to ebay.de and it'll make you sick how cheap some of these cars are selling for. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this guy in the race. And I'm gonna say one thing with absolute certainty. I don't know if I've even worked these wheels, to tell you the truth. Doesn't sound like it, does it? The Chinese models, they might be fun to collect, and that's probably as far as I'm gonna go with the Chinese Sikus. Certainly looks good, but the wheels, they've got tread on them and they don't spin all that well. I'm still thankful that Marcus picked this car up for me. But I don't know, might do a mod on this guy at some point in the future, get rid of these wheels that don't seem to roll very well. Thank you for that one. Back here in the back. Okay, that one looks a little odd, right? I found this on ebay.de and the pictures were kind of fuzzy. The guy said new in the package on this ambulance, and this one did come with the hubcapped wheels that are very, very hard to dust. They do have a little bit of pronounced tread around the outsides, and they're not as good as these wheels right here. but it's an ambi and it is metal on metal. And when he got this one, he forwarded it along, and when it got to me, yeah, new in package, it is not. It was put back in the package, and it looks like somebody stepped on the wheels. So what I did was I removed them, and I've got some 5-spoke wheels. This is gonna be a mod and for some kind of a future race, I don't know, but we'll have it burning right here before too long. But this guy is not gonna be included. The wheels that came on this car were absolutely smashed, and it didn't roll worth a flip. So unfortunate for that one, not Marcus's fault. He did send me this Broken Promises mod rod. This is in the special packaging. He picked this one up. I think he got a few of these, and he gifted me one of these, and it will be staying in the package. We're not gonna race this guy. I've got the other one that's in the regular mainline packaging. If I wanna see it roll, I will certainly do that. But check out the art on that thing. Very, very cool. And a little bit more at the back. But he sent that along as a gift, and that's greatly appreciated. Very cool to have in the collection. 2 more cars coming from Marcus. These are also some relatively inexpensive cars that I found on ebay.de, and asked him if he would mind picking them up, and he got them fairly cheap. This is the Ferrari GTO, and take a look at the wheels. Just take a look. Compare this. I'm gonna say, if you find a Siku that's got those wheels, the wide wheels, 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna fit the orange track, right? And also, that Ferrari is extremely wide, very, very wide. And I knew it wasn't gonna fit the track, but man, I like the look of it. This one will probably end up getting a repaint because it does have some chips and some flea bites, and it's not gonna hit the track anyway because it's definitely too wide. That one in straight up red, and this one right here in the metallic red. If you don't like how that looks, I can't help you. Nice coloration on this car. Very glad to have this Ferrari in my collection. Again, too wide for the orange track. I believe all the Ferraris are too wide. Even the I think they've got an F40, it's way too wide. And I would say most of the Porsches that they make with this wheel style, too wide for orange track. But still glad to have these 2 Ferraris in my collection. Thank you very much, Marcus. Hopefully we'll keep this little trend going, and got a package headed your way here shortly. So I believe that is it. We've got 16 cars out here. Again, the Real Riders I'm gonna put off to the side. If I do a Real Rider race in the future, I will include those. And the Zamac and the Treasure Hunt are gonna just hang around in the back over here. We'll take that guy. So what you're gonna see in no particular order, and I'll go back and redust any of these cars that might need additional help. We're gonna put all of them on the track. Again, just throw them up there. You guys went to the trouble of sending these cars to me. The least I can do is show you how they do on the Scale Racing channel quarter mile, right? Ought to be interesting. There's some lightweight castings. There's some heavy castings in here. Let's see, 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. I think what we'll do is probably take this car, dust it up, and throw it down the track against this Camaro first, because they're fairly lightweight. And if this guy gets the boot right away, then you'll know as well as me that these Chinese Sikus might look good, but they are probably not going to be worth chasing after. We'll run them off first and then put that into the last spot in the bracket. The rest of them, it'll be regular business as usual. 2 at a time, heads up racing down the quarter mile drag strip. Let's see who sent in the fastest car. Again, thank you guys all for sending cars in. It certainly wasn't necessary, but it is very much appreciated.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, friends, we're back, and we had a few kids just went back to the speed shop. The 55 Chevy went back to the speed shop. The rear wheels on it were a little wonky. Same thing going on here with the GTO. Let's see. The Matra also went back to speed shop. And when I showed you this car, this guy had not received dust yet. So I dusted him. That's the Weissman, Siku Weissman. And the wheels roll pretty good on it. So I take back a little bit of what I said about the Chinese wheels on the CQs. We'll see how it does here shortly. And I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball on you guys. Elevation Diecast did send a couple of cars in kind of after the fact. So we'll go ahead and throw these guys into the mix. And we're going to kind of work backwards into the bracket. So we're going to place these guys against each other, the Solaire versus the Shadow Jet. Remembered at that time. And winner of those two goes to see the GTO. Winner of that one goes into the bracket. Same thing up here, Camaro versus the 57. Winner of that one goes into the bracket, and then it'll be business as usual. Run them heads up two at a time down this quarter-mile drag strip. And rocket rules apply. Fastest pass after lane swaps is going to advance that car to the next round. Unless I see greater than a car length beat, then it'll be a one and done. Let's see how they do. First two cars up at the block, we got the 1967 Camaro in lane number 1 and the 27 Grand 57 Chevy in lane number 2. Two pretty lightweight cars going at it. On your marks, get set, go. Oh, 57. All day long, not a very good time. 23.92 to a 24.52. So 57 putting down some gappage. It's going to be a one and done. Straight into the bracket. Next up, Solaire CX4 in lane number 1 versus the Shadow Jet in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Oh, Shadow Jet with gappage. 23.21 to a 23.59. Wow. Expect a little better out of that Solaire. Shadow Jet with a one and done. He'll be going to see the GTO. Next prelim run, we've got the Shadow Jet in lane number 1, the GTO in lane number 2. The GTO rear wheels really did not turn out all that well. On your marks, get set, go. Yeah, that's what I expected. 23.16 to a 23.95. Shadow Jet dispatching the GTO in a pretty easy fashion. So Shadow Jet jumping his way up into the bracket. All right, round 1 officially starts off with the Ford GT race in lane number 1 and the Tesla Model S in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Model S with gappage, 23.14 to a 23.90. Tesla Model S with the one and done victory. Next up, the Trans Am funny car in lane number 1 and the 80s Corvette in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Pretty tight race, at least the first half it was. 23.12 to a 23.31. Trans Am funny car taking the first one. Laser swap, the vet needs to be to 23.12. On your marks, get set. It was a pretty close race, but still the funny car taking it. 23.15 to a 23.20. So the Trans Am funny car moving on to round number 2. Next up, the only Johnny Lightning in the bunch is the Mad Maverick in lane number 1 and the Hot Wheels Porsche Carrera in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Oh, look at the Mad Maverick go. 23.17 to a 23.85. One and done victory for Johnny Lightning. Mad Maverick goes on to round number 2. Next up, we got the 57 Chevy in lane number 1 and the Siku Weissman MF in lane number 2. On your marks, get set. Ooh, close race. 23.92 to a 23.93. The Weissman with the whole shot. Slowing down on the flat, no doubt, due to the treaded tires, but he still takes that one by 1/1000ths. Let's swap them. Laser swap. The Chevy needs to beat a 23.92. On your marks, get set. Ooh, it's close again. 2391 to a 2394, so the Siku Wiseman MF. Moving on to round number 2. Next up, the Siku Mattress Simca in lane number 1 versus the Hot Wheels Jackhammer in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Plus the Jackhammer. 2309 to a 2395. Serious gappage by the Jackhammer. That'll be a one and done victory. He'll be moving on to round number 2. Next up, the Lamborghini Estoque versus the faster than ever Pocket Bikester. On your marks, get set, go. Race. 2326 to a 2327. Pocket Bikester taking the first one by only 1/1000. Later swap Lambo needs to beat a 2326. On your marks, get set, go. Not gonna happen. 2325 to a 2337. Pocket Bikester wins them both. He'll be moving to round number 2. Next up, we got Shadow Jet in lane number 1 versus the Matchbox Charger in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Oh, Shadow Jet with a 2322 versus a 2390 for the Charger. Shadow Jet smoking the Charger on that one. It's a one and done victory. Last race of round number 1, we got the Tiger Wheels Funny Car in lane number 1 and the Hot Wheels Fat Fendered 40 in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Fat Fendered 40 with serious cappage. 2297 to a 2461. Wow. Can you see that? Those headers are an effective drag brake. The orange track, what a bummer. I'm not for sure that the body might come in contact with the side also, even with the headers out of the way. What a shame. Had high hopes for that guy. But Fat Fendered 40 moving on to the next round. Round 1 in the books. Winners on the right, losers on the left. Round 2 starts this out with the Tesla Model S in lane number 1 against the Trans Am Funny Car in lane number 2. On your marks, get set. Wow, did I just see that? 2311 to a 2318. Model S taking the first one. Later swap. The Funny Car needs to beat a 2311 to advance. On your marks, get set, go. Yeah, he did it. 2308 to a 2338. So the TA with a clutch run in the second race is going to advance him to the next round. Next up, Johnny Lightning versus China Siku. On your marks, get set, go. That was gappage. 2339 to a 2384. I think we saw that one coming. Mad Maverick from Johnny Lightning with a one and done victory. Next up, Gold Jackhammer versus the Pocket Bikester. On your marks, get set, go. Jackhammer. 2290 to a 2318. Not quite a car length beat. Let's swap it up. Later swap. Pocket Bikester needs to beat a 2290 to move on. On your marks, get set, go. Not happening. 2289 to a 2328. No doubt, it's the Gold Jackhammer moving on to the next round. Next up, Shadow Jet in lane 1 and the Fat Fendered 40 in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Fat Fendered 40 taking that one, but Shadow Jet was creeping on him. 2307 to a 2310. Fat Fendered 40 ekes out a win. Let's take him back up to the top. Later swap. Shadow Jet needs to beat a 2307. On your marks, get set, go. He's not going to do it. 2304 to a 2318. Fat Fendered 40 moving on to the next round. Round 2 in the books. Winners on the right, losers on the left. Semifinals start us out with the Hot Wheels Trans Am Funny Car in lane number 1 and the Johnny Lightning Mad Maverick in lane number 2. On your marks, get set. Maverick took it and lost it right at the end. 23-11 to a 23-13. Trans Am Funny Car driving around him at the very end of the race. Laser swap, can Johnny Lightning beat a 23-11? Let's find out. Your marks, get set, go. Ooh, something happened right back there. Sounded like a knock. 23-30 to a 23-59. What happened? Dadgummit. This little fella is touching the side of the track. Looks like I need to get off my duff and fix that guide rail. Let's run one more time, see if he can stay off of it. All right, what was it? 23-11 to take this one. Let's see if he can stay off the rail. On your marks, get set, go. I did it again. Son of a biscuit. 23-24 to 23-92. Mad Maverick touching the wall. Trans Am Funny Car taking the win all 3 races. He'll be moving on to the next round. Let's swap it back the way it was. See if the Funny Car can be definitive. On your marks, get set, go. Yeah, he gets him at the very end of the track. 23-09 to a 23-19. So yeah, Funny Car going on to the final race. Well, this ought to be a good one. Gold Jackhammer in lane number 1 and the Fat Fendered 40 in lane number 2. On your marks, get set. Close, but it's the Jackhammer. 22.95 to a 23.04. Laser swap, 22.95, the time to beat. On your marks, get set, go. Nah, Jackhammer is too much. 22.87 to a 23.06. So our Jackhammer will be moving on to see the Trans Am for the final race. Semifinals in the books. Winner on the right, losers on the left. Race final, some might say the usual suspects, right? Trans Am Funny Car in lane number 1 and the Jackhammer in lane number 2. On your marks, get set. Jackhammer. Slight edge all the way down the track. 23.02 to a 23.08. Laser swap. Funny Car needs to beat a 23.02 to take the overall win. On your marks, get set. Jackhammer, 23.02 to a 23.11. So the gold Jackhammer given to me by Alex CR, taking the overall win over all the cars that were gifted to me over this last race. Great car right there, bud. Let's go ahead and see who takes third. Mad Maverick in lane number 1, Fat Fendered 40 in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Fat Fendered 40. Wow, 23.08 to a 23.65. Let's just go ahead and swap it up because I think the Maverick was probably tapping the side, slowing him down. See if he can beat a 23.08. Laser swap, Mad Maverick needs to beat a 23.08 to get on the podium. On your marks, get set, go. Maverick had the whole shot, but Fat Fendered 40 drove right around him. 23.23 to a 23.55. So your Fat Fendered 40 taking the last spot on the podium. And because these guys haven't seen each other yet on the track, let's see if the Fat Fendered 40 has the cojones to take away second place from the Trans Am Funny Car. On your marks, get set. 23.08 to a 23.08. Tie ball game. We're all tied up. Winner of this one takes the number 2 spot on the podium. On your marks, get set. 23.04 to a 23.07. Fat Fendered 40 pulling out the victory. He'll be taking the number 2 spot on the podium. Alex CR sending in the fastest car of the bunch. It's the gold jackhammer taking the #1 spot on the podium. Mr. BFG sending us the Fat Fendered 40, good enough for second place overall. Craigster Sr. sending in the Trans Am Funny car, taking the #3 spot. Much appreciated to everybody who sent in cars on this last race. And I don't know, maybe we'll see another one of these for the next one. Let's see if the gold jackhammer has anything for the ranks. All right, let's weigh them up. Jackhammer, 40.5 grams. So that'll put him in the 31 to 40.9 gram weight category. Boy, he's right on the edge there. I'm going to guess this guy's going to be greater than 62. Yes, 65.9 on the Fat Fendered 40. So he'll be in the heavyweight class, and the Trans Am will also be in that class. Ugh. 66.5 grams on the Trans Am. All right, coming over to the 31 to 40 ranks. And Lucid Air is our gatekeeper into this one. I think things are going to get ugly for him. All right, the jackhammer challenging the ranks. He'll be going up against the Lucid Air, currently in lane #1. On your marks, get set, go. That was right at a car length. 22.96 for the gold jackhammer. I don't think I need to see any more there. So Lucid Air getting the boot. Who are we going to pick on next? Let's run Sketch Superman. We saw that one in Frank's entries for the grudge match. See if that little feller has got anything for the jackhammer. Superman Sketched is a fairly lightweight car. He's just ticking in a little bit above the lower weight category on this one. On your marks, get set, go. Oh, that's a close race. 22.99 to a 23.03. Sketch Superman taking that one. Later SWAT jackhammer needs to be at 22.99. He's run better times in the past. Let's see if he can do it again. Marks, get set, go. Oh, you might get it. Yes, 22.85 to a 22.92. Wow. He likes lane #1. He's moving on. All right, who do we pick on next? Let's see how this blown Camaro does, shall we? Blown Camaro versus the gold jackhammer. On your marks, get set, go. Ooh, that was ugly. 22.95 to a 23.37. Something may have happened to this dude when the shit came tumbling down. Well, who's next? Got another jackhammer up here. See how he does. 2 jackhammers up in the blocks. The Green Holidays version sits #5 overall in my weight category. On your marks, get set. 23.03 to 23.05. Major SWAT gold jackhammer needs to be at 23.03. On your marks, get set. Get it? Yes, he does. 22.85 to a 22.89. He's climbing his way up the ladder. All right, let's give this guy a shot. I don't think you guys have seen this one run on the new hill yet. It's the Matchbox Ford Sierra. Matchbox in lane 1, Hot Wheels in lane #2. On your marks, get set. Close. 23.04 to a 23.06. I don't know what's up with these lousy first runs, but the jackhammer squeaking out a win. Laser SWAT 23.04, the time to beat. On your marks, get set, go. Yeah, he gets it. 22.94 to a 23.09. Jackhammer. Moving on. Next up, #3 overall, the orange Turbo Tram. See if he got hurt in the fall. On your marks, get set. Freak height. 22.95 to a 22.99. Laser SWAT 22.95, the time to beat. On your marks, get set. Ooh, 2292 to a 2294 Turbo Tram. Clutch run. Beating the gold jackhammer's time by 0.02. So that's the stopper for you. Still, gold jackhammer is going to be sitting 4th overall in the 31 to 40 gram weight category. Not too bad. Next up, the Fat Fender 40 going on to see the gatekeeper into the greater than 62 gram category. That's the Challenger Funny Car. Challenger Funny Car in lane number 1 of the Fat Fender 40 and lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Oh, it's close, but it's the Challenger. 2310 to a 2312. Laser swap. The fatty needs to beat a 2310 to move into the ranks. On your marks, get set, go. He does it. 2309 to a 2328. All right, Fat Fender 40, making it into the ranks for the greater than 62 gram weight class. And this guy's probably going to go back to the speed shop, maybe get a redusting. Well, who do we want to see next? Let's jump up to Evil number 3, shall we? Evil number 3 in lane number 1 in the Fat Fender 40 and lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Yeah, no. 2291 to a 2310. Evil number 3 doing evil number 3 things. Laser swap. Let's see if the fatty can do a hero run. 2291, the time to beat. On your marks, get set, go. It's tight. Still a win by the Funny Car. 2304 to a 2308. So we're going to move down a notch or two for the 40. All right, Luminous Stalker dressed in black versus the Fat Fender 40. On your marks, get set, go. That's very close. 2302 to a 2306. Fat Fender 40 had him going down the hill, but the Luminous Stalker passes him on the flat. Laser swap. 2302, the time to beat. On your marks, get set, go. Who does he get it? No, he does not. 2309 to a 2314. Okay, well, let's move down one more notch. The Airport Rescue battling over the bubble position. Sounds like a rattle trap with all them wheels on it, doesn't it? Airport Rescue in lane number 1, Fat Fender 40 in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. It's tight. 2304 for Airport Rescue, 2310 for the Fat Fender 40. They just swap. 2304, the time to beat. On your marks, get set, go. 2314 to a 2319. So, Fat Fender 40 not able to beat the 2304 set by the Airport Rescue in his first run. So he goes back where he belongs. And the Fat Fender 40, now the gatekeeper spot into the greater than 62 gram weight category. And since he couldn't beat out the Fat Fender 40, there's no need sending him back up to see him again. So unfortunately, nobody making it into the stack this time. Let's take one more look at it. See if you can't see a few cars that are going to be in the 51 to 62 gram weight category that are also fast. Take notes. If you haven't signed up on that one yet, go over to redlinederby.com and look under the March races if you want to get in on the 51 to 62 gram stock weight races. And that's it for this one. Glad you stuck around with me for a little while, and I hope you enjoyed the racing. Thank you very much to everybody who sent in cars with the race entries on the last race. It's very much appreciated, even though these guys right here may not have made it into the ranks, and we might have to see if a few of these can do it. Maybe the Pocket Bikester, maybe, or maybe the Tesla Model S. Just have to wait and see. Again, thank you so much for sending the cars in. Greatly appreciated. If you enjoyed the content, please like, comment, subscribe. And until next time, y'all stay healthy. Have fun racing. Okay, P.S. of all these cars over here, Really didn't go over this, but Fat Fendered 40, you saw him taking the new gatekeeper spot in that weight category. And Gold Jackhammer moving up to number 4 overall. And guess what? Tesla Model S beats out the Faster Than Ever Spocket and the Gruesome Twosome. One away from the bubble spot on that one, but still, Tesla Model S making it in the ranks. Pretty impressive for his dot casting. Just thought you guys wanted to see that.